What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Tony Reads. Today's video, oh, I'm so excited. I'm so happy to be back on BookTube and so happy to be back out of the slump and reading again. So I have like this whole list of books I want to try to get done this summer. And so that's what we're going to talk about today. Some of them, I hope none of them are repeats that I already mentioned, but there might be some because my TBR just keeps getting bigger and bigger. As a lot of you readers know, that's what happens to a lot of us. I just can't. There's so many books coming out. I'm a new reader, so there's a whole bunch of old books that I still want to read that everybody else has read already. And so it's just really hard for me to keep up. But anyway, I'm not going to put too much pressure on myself, but this is what I kind of want to chill and get done this summer. Okay, so the first book that I want to read, and this is not in any particular order at all, is called Room for Rent by Noelle W. Ely. And this author I'm actually familiar with. I did read a book from her already. I can't remember what it's called or which one, but if I'm not mistaken, I did like the author. And so I decided to give another book of hers a shot. And even if I didn't like the first book I read, I still want to give this one a shot because the book just actually sounds really good. So again, it's called Room for Rent. And it has like, I'm going to put the books up there. I'm hoping that they show the covers. It has like some creepy looking stairs. I don't know if it's I don't know if it's going up to like some attic or upstairs or if they're actually going down to some gloomy looking basement, but it just looks really like scary. And so I like that. I know like in thrillers and psychological thrillers, a lot of times they have like a scary, like horror like aspect to it, but it turns out that it's not really that. But I just like when that's incorporated into a book. But anyway, let me just stop rambling. So this book, it says, Naya can't remember the last time she felt safe. The rundown rental house didn't seem so bad at first, but now someone is stealing her food. No, don't mess with my food. Rattling her bedroom doorknob, digging through her belongings. That's a no-no. I just want to put in college, I did live with other people, like a lot of us who went to college did, and it's like never again. The only people I'll ever live with, either I'll live by myself, my sister, or my mom, or if I somehow end up getting married, which I highly doubt, I'll live with my husband. But roommates, no, it ain't nothing but trouble. Trust me. But anyway, each night brings more disturbing incidents, and each night Naya is more convinced that it's not an intruder. She suspects the culprit is hiding in plain sight, her peculiar roommate of necessity, Sydney. So I told you about the roommates. I'm serious. Naya can't afford to live anywhere else. The horrible rental is her only option. In a few months, she'll finish her final semester of college. So I didn't realize she actually is in college, so I can totally relate. And get the hell out of Dodge. I like that because that's when I got up out of there, that's what I did. But to her horror, the sinister mind games are just the beginning. Before long, she's forced to face the possibility that her physical safety may be at risk, maybe even her life. The truth is more terrifying than Naya could have guessed. And as the situation spirals out of control, it's suddenly clear that surviving the night may no longer be an option. Is this book, when did this come out? Because this book sounds like something I would literally put at the top of my list. This is right up my alley. I've never read a book about like college roommates or anything like that, so that's good. I did go to college. I had roommates before. I can relate to it, and it just sounds good. Somebody taking your food, rattling your doorknob, going shuffling through your belongings, whatever, and then you think it's going to get like even worse than that, and they might be trying to kill you or something. So I can't wait to read this book. And now that I'm looking at it and reading what it's about, this might be my next read for real, because I'm just like really excited about this one. I hope this one does not let me down. But I mean, it just seems like too good to be true. Okay, so the next book is called Dead Med by Freida McFadden. Any of you Freida McFadden fans know, or just if you know anything about Freida McFadden and her books, this book actually used to be called, I don't know if I can say it, they started calling it S-Med. And if you know what the S means for, it means when somebody takes their own life. I don't know if I'm not supposed to say that or not. Anyway, she was getting like backlash, and like when she was trying to post on social media and stuff, sometimes they would block her because of the name of the book. And so she ended up taking that old print off, I think, out of Dodge, now I'm saying that. She took it out of Dodge, and she changed the name to Dead Med. And she doesn't want anybody to refer to it as that S word or anything like that. But anyway, I'm like in this Freida McFadden group or whatever, and I keep hearing this book is like so good. And she even changed some parts of it, so it's not like exactly the same as the first like edition of this book or whatever. I didn't get my hands on the first one. I'm not really too bummed out about that because she said this one, Dead Med, is actually better. So I'm, number one, I haven't even told you guys what it's about. I don't even know what it's about. If it's Freida McFadden, I know I want to read it, but that was just the whole backstory on why it's called Dead Med now. So it says, when Heather McKinley dreamed of becoming a doctor, she imagined curing sick kids and sporting pink stethoscopes. She never anticipated the sleepless nights, grueling exams, and endless labs. And she certainly never knew that her medical school earned the nickname Dead Med thanks to the tragic history of students overdosing on illegal drugs. That sounds crazy. That's something, I never read a book about this at all, so this is going to be very interesting. But Heather would never consider doing anything like that. That is, until her long boyfriend dumps her, she finds herself failing anatomy and her world starts to crumble. Everyone has a breaking point. Then on the night before the final exam in anatomy, a shot rings out through the hallways of Dead Med. The school has claimed yet another casualty. One of Heather's classmates has done the unthinkable. And before her desperate 911 call even connects, it will happen again. And the night is just beginning. Okay, so it's not just about people taking their lives. There's like something crazy and sinister and thrilling about this book. And I keep hearing over and over again that this is a great book. And some people are even calling it their favorite Freida McFadden book. I don't know if that's going to be the case for me or not, but I'm really excited to read this. And as I've said before in some of my other videos, since I am a huge fan of Freida McFadden, I want to finish her books so that the only ones I have left to read are the new ones that are coming out. And I'll tell you, talk about it later, but I did read The Housemaid's Watching. I'll let you guys know my review on that later. And then she has another book coming out called The Crash. No, before that, she has a book coming out called The Boyfriend. I think that's coming out in the fall. And then she has another book coming out called The Crash. And I think that's going to be like early 2025. So she has some good stuff coming up. So I just want to get caught up on the books that she already has out. But anyway, let me move on. Okay, so since we're on the subject of Freida McFadden, I said I want to finish her books. Let me just get this out the way. Another book that I'm going to read, I'm not saying I want to read, I'm saying I'm going to read this summer, is Do Not Disturb. I've heard this one's like really good too. I always hear her stuff is good, and I know I love her books. I've loved almost all of them for the most part. So this one says, Quinn Alexander has committed an unthinkable crime. To avoid spending her life in prison, Quinn makes a run for it. She leaves behind her home, her job, and her family. She grabs her passport and heads for the northern border before the police can discover what she's done. But when an unexpected snowstorm forces her off the road, Quinn must take a refuge at the broken-down, isolated Baxter Motel. Anytime a motel is in it, not a hotel too, but the motel is just like the creepiest thing. And broken down, also add that to it. The handsome and kindly owner, Nick Baxter, is only too happy to offer her a cheap room for the night. That's already a red flag. Somebody will offer you, a stranger, a cheap room for the night. Unfortunately, the Baxter Motel isn't the quiet, safe haven it seemed to be. The motel has a dark and disturbing past, and the dilapidated, house across the way. The silhouette of Nick's ailing wife is always at the window, always watching. Okay, that's just weird. In the morning, Quinn must leave the motel. She'll pack up her belongings and get back on the road to freedom. But first, she must survive the night. Here's another one. She must survive the night. They must survive the night. I love that when you don't think, you're going to survive the night or whatever. I love that little plot to any kind of book I read. Like, you go in thinking it's this and that or whatever, and then you're like struggling to make sure you get out of there or whatever. This sounds really good as well. I can't wait to read this one. Again, this is my last Freida McFadden for the summer that I want to read. It's called Want to Know a Secret. I think these are some of like her earlier books. I'm not 100% sure. I'm a new reader, so what do I know? But anyway, I hear in the group that I'm in, I hear a lot of talk about this one as well. So it starts off, everyone has secrets. YouTube baking sensation April Masterson. Already YouTube. So I love when I can connect with the story or like one of the characters. So YouTube, hey, I'm on YouTube. Tony Reads, whatever. YouTube baking sensation April Masterson knows the secret to the perfect gooey brownies. Okay, you got me right there. I love gooey brownies. Or how to make key lime squares that will melt in your mouth. But if you keep watching her offline, you may find out some other secrets about April. Secrets she'd rather you not know or didn't know. Like, where did her son go when he snuck out of the house? What was she doing with the local soccer coach behind fog windows? Everyone, and what's buried in her backyard. Everyone has secrets. Some are worse than others. April's secrets are enough to destroy her. I'll make sure of that. So that's like somebody else talking on that front or whatever. So looks like somebody want to like bust some YouTube sensation or whatever. It just sounds crazy. It sounds like really entertaining. So I can't wait to read this one as well. Definitely like a different type of story. Okay, so the next book that I want to read is called A Stranger in the House by Sherry Lapina. I am familiar with that author. I'm pretty sure I've read a book. I'm pretty sure I've read a book by her that I loved, but I can't remember what it was. I can't keep up with this stuff. But anyway, she's a well-known author for people who love thrillers. And so this one, this is a New York Times bestseller. It's a domestic thriller, which I love. Karen and Tom Krupp are happy. They've got a lovely home in upstate New York. They're practically newlyweds and they have no kids to interrupt their comfortable life together. But one day, Tom returns home to find Karen has vanished. Her car is gone. It seems she left in a rush. She even left her purse, complete with phone and ID, behind. There's a knock on the door. The police are there to take Tom to the hospital where his wife has been admitted. She had a car accident, lost control as she sped through the worst part of town. The accident has left Karen with a concussion and a few scrapes. Still, she's mostly okay, except she can't remember what she was doing or where she was when she crashed. That's weird. She left her phone and ID and then crashed and can't remember anything of it. It's like you're like running from something. Usually if you leave that kind of stuff. The cops think her memory loss is highly convenient and they suspect she was up to no good. Yeah, it does seem like she was up to no good. Karen returns home with Tom, determined to heal and move on with her life. Then she realizes something's been moved. Something's not quite right. Something's been in her house. Someone's been in her house. And the police won't stop asking questions. Because in this house, everyone's a stranger. Everyone has something they'd rather keep hidden. Something they might even kill to keep quiet. I love it like when it's a domestic thriller and the couple has secrets that they're hiding from each other. I love that. So this sounds really good. I can't wait to read this one as well. This is also something different. Okay, so the last book, and this, like, again, this is not in any particular order, but this one is called Then She Was Gone by Lisa Jewell. Anybody who's read thrillers, I won't say anybody, but people have recommended Lisa Jewell to me, highly recommended. I may have even read a book from her. I'm not really sure. I can't keep up with all the authors and everything, but this one, when I was checking this one out, it sounded really good. Ellie Mack was the perfect daughter. She was 15, the youngest of three, beloved by her parents, friends, and teachers, and half of a teenage golden couple. Ellie was days away from an idyllic post-exams summer vacation with her whole life ahead of her, and then she was gone. Now her mother, Laurel Mack, is trying to put her life back together. It's been 10 years since her daughter disappeared, 7 years since her marriage ended, and only months since the last clue in Ellie's case was unearthed. So when she meets an unexpectedly charming man in a cafe, no one is more surprised than Laurel at how quickly their flirtation develops into something deeper. Before she knows it, she's meeting Floyd's daughters, and his youngest, Poppy, takes Laurel's breath away. Because looking at Poppy is like looking at Ellie. Oh, that's sounding kind of weird. And now the unanswered questions she tried so hard to put to rest begin to haunt Laurel anew. Where did Ellie go? Did she really run away from home, as police have long suspected, or was there a more sinister reason for her disappearance? Who is Floyd, really? And why does his daughter remind Laurel so viscerally of her own missing girl? Okay, that's weird. And I know it's going to have some kind of strange twist to it, or mini twist. So this sounds really good. Again, Lisa Jewell is a highly recommended author, so I'm definitely going to check this one out. And I can't wait. I got some good stuff to read this summer. So anyway, that's my little list for now. My list is subject to change, as you guys know, and as you readers know. I know your list changed as well. I'm also gonna look and see. I don't know what new releases are coming out this summer or like early fall, so I'm gonna look into that as well. Again, if you have some recommendations for me, you guys, if you watch my channel, you know what kind of books I like. So go ahead and drop them in the comments. Let me know. Recommend some authors as well. Just I want to try. I've been trying to like step out from the Riley Sager and Freida McFadden and do some other things. So, give me the names of some more authors or something that I can check out. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.